Hey there. To dive into today's topic, I want to share a story. One that, in some way or another, I think many of us have either lived through ourselves or witnessed someone close to us go through. There was a manager I knew, someone with a solid career, a respected title, someone others looked up to. I've sat across from many people like that over the years. Some of them are truly happy, and I don't deny that. But others are quietly drowning. In one conversation, they confided in me, "I think I'm done. I'm just exhausted. I can't keep going. My personal life, there's nothing left that actually feels personal anymore." And then came a sigh, so soft it could be missed. But if you really listened, it carried the weight of 1,000 silent burdens being laid down on the table. I looked into their eyes and saw a kind of tired that goes beyond a few late nights. It was the slow, creeping exhaustion that seeps deep into your bones. The kind that doesn't go away with a long weekend. The kind where even during a break, your mind is still stuck in the grind. Their days were just a blur of back-to-back tasks, meetings stacked like dominoes from early morning, no slow breakfasts, no pause to breathe, just a constant stream of alerts, buzzing phones, overflowing inboxes. Lunch wasn't a break. It was a quick pit stop to avoid crashing. And when night came, they didn't log off. Instead, they brought their laptop into bed. The cold blue light of the screen reflecting off a face etched with fatigue. Still working, because there's that one thing left, or the report's due tomorrow. I'd ask them, why not take a few days off? Why not use your vacation time? You're the boss. You can give yourself the break. And they'd always say, I can't. I wouldn't feel right. What if something goes wrong while I'm gone? What if someone messes up? My role's too important. No one else can do what I do. It sounded perfectly reasonable, and I truly believe they meant every word. But the more I heard it, the more something felt off. Because if your body is screaming for rest, your mind is waving red flags, and you still can't stop, then maybe you're no longer living your own life. What's wild is that the very thing making them so tired is also the thing they take the most pride in. It's what they secretly wish they could walk away from, but feel completely unable to. That's the trap, a quiet, invisible contradiction, built up over years of repetition, unspoken expectations, and the belief that this is just how life is. And honestly, I just felt sad. Not because they were lazy or weak or lacked ambition, quite the opposite. They were stuck inside a role they didn't even remember agreeing to play. And over time, that role became their identity. It creates this emotional chaos. On one hand, they know they're burning out, but on the other, they're proud of how much they can carry. A part of them desperately wants to rest, but another part is terrified that everything will fall apart if they do. And that inner tug of war, that's what drains people the fastest. Not the deadlines, not the bosses, not the clients, but the relentless, unspoken pressure to live up to the version of yourself you think you're supposed to be. I call these the painful roles we play. They look like duty, like purpose, like identity, but sometimes they're just beautifully packaged cages we build around ourselves. In those roles, you're not allowed to fall apart. You're not allowed to step back. You're not even allowed to say honestly, I'm really, really tired. You know what's exhausting? Living your life as if you're constantly on stage, surrounded by an invisible audience waiting for you to stay perfectly in character. And if you forget your lines, stumble, or even just sigh a little too loudly, no one's going to step in and apologize for you. It's just you, standing there alone, feeling guilty for not delivering the performance you think people expect. And the role? It could be the devoted boss, the strong father, the dutiful daughter, the supportive wife, the positive friend, the reliable coworker. Beautiful titles on the outside, but behind the spotlight are the dark circles under tired eyes, the fragmented sleep, the unspoken questions you don't even know who to ask. Many people go through life playing a role that never allows for intermission. Not because they lack opportunities to pause, but because somewhere along the way they became the role. They stopped knowing who they were, unless they were being that person. And if someone were to suddenly ask them, who are you if you're no longer a manager? Or if your child no longer sees you as a hero, would you still love yourself? They might dodge the question. They might laugh it off. They might deny it. But if the night is quiet enough and the heart honest enough, the answer can be painfully hollow. I don't know anymore. Or worse, I'm afraid I'm no one without it. That's the moment we come face to face with the heaviest of all roles, the ones that hurt the most. The burden of identity. Have you ever noticed? Most of the roles we play weren't exactly chosen freely. A lot of the time they're handed to us, or worse, imposed on us, because not playing along would look like failure. When you're called successful, it feels like you have to keep making more money. When you're known as the rock of the family, you're expected to never break. When people see you as the smart one, you feel like you can never say, "I don't know." And here's where it gets dangerous. Other people may label you, but you're the one who starts guarding that label like it's your identity, your reputation, your worth. Why? Because if you stop playing the part, you feel like a fraud, like you've let people down, like you're not enough. And that feeling of, "I don't even know who I am anymore," that can hit harder than any criticism from the outside world. There's a bitter paradox to all of this. The better you are at performing, the more people assume you're fine. They don't see your shaky hands before you walk into a high-stakes meeting. They don't hear the long exhale after texting back at 11 p.m. They don't know about the all-nighters you pulled to fix some tiny issue no one even remembers the next day. You're too good, too convincing. You seem like someone who never gets tired. And then you start living in that role full-time. The role becomes your identity. Performing becomes second nature. And even you forget that somewhere beneath all that makeup, there's still your real face. So when someone asks, "How are you today?" you answer like a machine. "I'm fine, all good." But inside, your soul feels like a dusty old stage, one that's always lit yet never allowed to go dark. But here's the thing. No stage stays lit forever. No show runs endlessly, and no actor can perform for life without ever stepping backstage to take a deep breath. So maybe the first thing you need isn't to quit everything. It's just this. Step off the stage for a moment. Turn down the lights. Set the costume aside. Sit in the audience and take a long look at yourself. Not the character, but the person beneath. It might feel weird at first. You might feel empty, lost, unsure of who you even are. But that's exactly where it begins. Reconnecting with the self you've neglected for so long. No spotlight, no clapping, just you, being with yourself. In today's world, these roles are even more complex. Because now we perform daily on a much smaller stage, the glowing screen we carry in our hands. Social media. With just a few pictures, a status update, a 15-second story, you can build a whole alternate version of yourself. One that's happier, prettier, more successful, more together than real life ever feels. And the scary part? Most of the time, we're not even trying to fool anyone else. We're just trying to convince ourselves that we're okay. Ever posted a smiling photo even though you felt miserable inside? Ever shared a quote about strength just to remind yourself you're not falling apart? Ever checked into a fancy place, not to enjoy it, but to prove you're still in the game? That's the performance of social media. It starts out playful, but slowly it becomes a burden. We create a digital self, and then feel pressured to live up to it. We wake up and feel like we have to look radiant. We go out to eat and think about how the food will look in a photo. Even our words need to be clever, on-trend, and inspiring. And when you don't feel up to it, when you're exhausted, messy, or low, you turn off the camera, stay quiet, scroll through everyone else's highlight reel and wonder, why am I falling behind? But you're not behind. You just forgot that everyone is performing in their own way, on their own little stages. Social media doesn't require rehearsals, just the right filter. A trending song, a deep-sounding caption under an ordinary picture. But the more you perform, the more your real self fades. At some point, you stopped living your life and started curating it. For the feed, not for the memory. You go places and think, this would look great on Instagram. You order food and immediately wonder, will this look expensive in a photo? Even when talking to your partner, there's a voice in your head going, we'd look so cute online. Total couple goals. And just like that, you're no longer living for yourself. You're living for the role you've created online. A role that if it doesn't get enough likes, enough fire emojis, enough validation, leaves you feeling unsettled, incomplete, not good enough. So how do you step away from that role? You don't have to delete the app. You don't have to disappear from the internet. You just have to remember, social media is not your identity. It's a window, not a mirror. And windows, they don't need to be wide open all the time. Every once in a while you have every right to close it and let real sunlight in. Try going a day without posting anything. A day where you eat your meal without photographing it. A day where you enjoy a walk or an adventure without documenting it. A day where you look up at the sky and no one knows you just had a beautiful moment. Because sometimes the most beautiful things are the ones only you get to feel. The ones that never get posted, but stay with you forever. We all play roles. No one's exempt. The strong boss, the dependable dad, the nurturing mom, the optimistic friend, the picture-perfect partner, and the one we play too well, the person who's always fine. Little by little, we forget that these are just roles, temporary parts we play in certain chapters of life. But the real you, The part that doesn't have to be flawless, impressive, or social media worthy, that's the part that needs the most love. So if each day you find yourself a little more tired, a little more weighed down, it's not because you're weak. It's not because you're failing. It might just be because you've worn the mask for too long. You've performed that role so convincingly, even you forgot that underneath the costume, there's a face longing to breathe. So please, give yourself a moment each day. You don't have to quit the role. You don't have to burn down the stage. You just need to lower the curtain. Take a breath, turn off the lights, and whisper to yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be real. And if you can do that, even just a little, then no matter how many roles life throws your way, you'll always hold on to the most valuable thing of all, your humanity, unfiltered and true. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.